Parents must have faith in their abilities. It is wise to periodically assess them on matters pertaining to their child and their parental responsibilities. Welcome to Prepared Leaders. In this video, we will define parenting knowledge, attitudes, and practices as I go over the checklist we believe defines a good parent. Some individuals think it's impossible to define what a good or bad parent genuinely is. However, we disagree. 1. A good parent first and foremost loves their child. They simply cannot contain their happiness at being alive and don't hesitate to express it to their offspring in overt and covert manners. At little and significant occasions, pretty much every day. No one is at risk of being spoiled in this way because those who are spoiled are those who were rejected by love rather than those who frequently drank in its soothing waves. Second, good parents is tuned into their child. They pay great attention to what the little one is attempting to say. This entails getting on one's knees and calmly listening to particular messages, which might occasionally seem incredibly strange or frustrating. Even though it's their birthday and the parent has gone to great lengths to get them presents, the youngsters may be indicating that they are really sad. Even though education is, in theory, highly essential and the school was challenging to get into, it's possible that they are expressing their anger at the teacher in their statements. Children have complex emotions, which a good parent gives room for. 3. A decent parent doesn't harbor envy toward their offspring. They are capable of giving them a better life than they had. 4. Good parents are aware of their problems. They don't believe it's wise to bring someone great distress because perhaps someone else made them unpleasant in the past. 5. Good parents are aware of their limits. For a while, the game was funny, but now is the time to wind down. Put the paints away, return to work, or go to bed. In the interest of respecting reality, a decent parent doesn't mind experiencing temporary hatred. 6. It doesn't feel at all monotonous and predictable to be a good parent. Young children don't require their parents' excitement and drama. They desire a safe foundation from which to travel the globe. Now that we've had a chance to reflect on the past, we might rate our professional lives on a scale of 1 to 10. In our own thoughts, it isn't always unfair or cruel to hold individuals accountable. Grab a pen and paper as we go through the list and rate each choice on a scale of 1 to 10. My parent made me feel deeply loved and wanted. Was often highly attuned to what I actually felt. Was able to tolerate a degree of innocent disobedience. Was authentically happy about my success. Lacked sadistic impulses. Avoided imposing too many of their own issues on me. Didn't demand to be admired. Wasn't too exciting. Knew how to play. Had boundaries. Tolerate dissent. Took an interest in my small joys and pains. We don't need a score of 102 to be healthy, but if things fell significantly below 60, there may be cause of serious thought and grief. If your upbringing wasn't ideal, it's vital to know as much as you can about what went wrong and why. And before we continue, I'll be giving you time to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on the notification bell to be notified every time a new video is uploaded. And let's continue. There are many facets to parenting. Parents need to know a lot about a lot of different things so they can meet their kids' different needs. This knowledge should include understanding the developmental milestones and norms that help keep children safe and healthy, as well as the professionals like teachers, childcare providers, healthcare providers, and social workers, and social systems like institutions, laws, and policies that interact with families and help parents. This article talks about these and other areas of knowledge that have been shown by research to support basic parenting techniques and good outcomes for children. It is important to note that the research based on the relationship between parenting practices and child outcomes is far larger than that on the relationship between parental knowledge and child outcomes. The data sets that do exist are mostly based on correlational research rather than experimental studies. A substantial corpus of correlational research reveals wide disparities in parents' parenting knowledge. According to a number of studies, parents with higher levels of education typically have a better understanding to both parenting techniques and developmental milestones for children. This better understanding could be due to a number of factors, such as parents being confident in their own skills, having different levels of access to reliable information, and trusting the information or the source of the information. For instance, studies suggest that parents who do not teach math at home typically knows less about elementary math, are less confident in their abilities, or value other talents more than math. Parents can learn about their child's development and how to be good parents as their knowledge and willingness to learn change. It is important to focus on parental knowledge as a point of intervention because parents' practices and behaviors are affected by what they know about how children grow and learn. For instance, it has been discovered that mothers who have a strong body of information about child development connect with their children more positively than mothers who have less expertise. Parents who know how kids grow and change are less likely to have expectations that aren't right for their age. This affects how parents should punish their kids and how they should treat them in general. Parental knowledge is important because it affects a wide range of cognitive and social emotional behaviors and practices. This is shown by a number of sources. According to a number of correlational studies, mothers with greater knowledge of child development are more likely to give their kids books and learning materials that are appropriate for their age and interests, as well as to read, talk, and tell stories more frequently than mothers with less knowledge. Fathers are better able to support their children when they are aware of how they are young also. Parents who don't know that learning starts at birth are less likely to do things like read to their babies or understand how important it is for their young children to learn the language and hear words. Children are developing their language and literacy skills. For example, it has been found that mothers who think that their very young children aren't paying attention are less likely to talk and play with them. Intervention research shows more clearly that understanding how children grow and develop is a key part of improving parenting outcomes. The results of randomized controlled trial interventions showed that parents of young children knew more about how children develop and how to care for and feed them. Some studies have found a direct link between how well educated a parent is and how well their child does on tests of cognitive and motor function. According to an analysis of data from a prospective cohort study that took into account possible confounding factors, children whose mothers knew more about child development at 12 months were less likely to have behavior problems and scored higher on child IQ tests at 36 months than children whose mothers didn't know as much about child development. These and other observational studies show that parental knowledge is related to better parenting and the quality of the home environment, both of which are related to children's results. These associational findings are supported by experimental studies of parent education programs. In an experimental study on parent education for first-time dads and home visitors watched films of themselves playing with their kids to review instances of parental sensitivity and response. Compared to fathers in control group who talked with the home visitor about age-appropriate toys, these fathers had a much higher level of parenting skills for helping their children's cognitive growth and sensitivity to infant cues 2 months after the program. Another experiment looked at the effects of a 13-week behavioral parenting program on the whole population. It found that the program helped mothers learn more about how to be a good parent and that the families at the highest risk got more involved in their children's early learning. and got better at managing their behavior. Boys who were more likely to act in a bad way also had lower rates of behavior problems. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and turn on the notification bell so you'll know when I upload new content. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all on my next video.